The Absolutely Amazing Adventures of Ava Applesauce by Roy L. Pickering, Jr. Illustrated by Aaron Rogers Pickering. Chapter 1. Sauce Makers. In a slightly crooked house with the address of 123 Oak Tree Lane, there lived a 7-year-old girl named Ava Applesauce, spelled differently but sounding just like the sauce made from apples, along with her mother and father and hamster. There are a number of things I could tell you about this family, so let's get started. For one, they made tomato sauce that was sold to local stores and restaurants. It was excellent tomato sauce, possibly the best in the world, for it was made with love. This is what Ava's mom was fond of saying. Along with love, it was made from tomatoes grown in the garden, which was nearly their entire backyard and some of the front lawn. The rest of what went into the sauce came from an old family recipe. Up until the past year, it had only been made for family dinners. Now other people were able to enjoy the sauce as well, if they so happened to shop or eat at restaurants in the town of Greenfield. Oak Tree Lane ran right through the middle of Greenfield, and the house addressed 123 was smack dab in the middle of Oak Tree Lane. The family sauce, that was now a town sauce, and perhaps one day would be a worldwide sauce if all went according to hopes and dreams, was named Applesauce Tomato Sauce. A rather peculiar name, don't you think? The maiden name of Ava's mother would have given the sauce a duller, though no less odd name. It would have been called white tomato sauce. This would have confused people because the sauce was remarkably red. Ava's mother put something in the soil that was a main part of the secrecy of the recipe. Whatever it was, it made the tomatoes so red they practically glowed. Yet it didn't have much effect on the taste. The wonderful flavor of the sauce was the result of spices that went into it. These spices were held in glass jars. The spice jars next in line to be used took up space in the kitchen. A great many more were shelved in the basement, waiting their turn. Applesauce tomato sauce made people eat faster than they planned to because of its cheerful color, wonderful flavor, plus, according to Ava's mother, the fact that it was made with love. Producing tomato sauce had not made the family rich. Not yet. This was fine with them, as their life at 123 Oak Tree Lane in the town of Greenfield was a pleasant one. Ava was a happy child. This did not mean she got everything she wanted, because that is not how happiness is made. There was plenty she asked for that she did not get. For example, she had once asked politely for a baby sister. It would have been fun to dress her baby sister up like she did with her dolls. This would have been less fun to do with a baby brother. She owned several baby dolls, but was almost starting to outgrow them. Ava was not quite too old for pretending to feed and burp and change her make-believe babies, but other things had become more interesting to her. Ava's mother said that they did not have control over whether or not she would get a baby sister. There was a slim chance of it happening, but don't get your hopes up, is how her father put it. So Ava left that hope on the ground. She could be practical that way, at least some of the time. Ava asked for a dog instead. Too much work, she was told. Ava did not complain, for this rarely worked. How about a cat, then? Again, the answer was no. Her mother was allergic. Not to cats themselves, she explained, when asked why she never sneezed or said she was not feeling well during visits to the house of Ava's cousin. Leah had a cat, a mighty fat cat indeed. Buttons hardly moved, and when he did, it was clear that the cat was none too happy about it. Ava's mother said her allergy was to cleaning after fur that was shed everywhere, and to scratched furniture, and to having a box in their home for smelly litter, and to the way a cat looked at you like it was the boss and you were doing a poor job. In the end, Ava got a hamster, which she was very excited about for the first 2 days. After that, she remained fond of her pet, but no longer looked at him in amazement for hours at a time. The hamster's only trick was climbing into its wheel and spinning it around and around. By day 3, this no longer seemed like such a big deal. Ava decided the hamster was a girl. It did not disagree and also did not complain about its name, perhaps because this was the most interesting thing about her. Ava had named her Goo Goo Woof Meow. The name was based on what a baby sister, a dog, and a cat would have said to whatever Ava asked them. Her hamster was pretty quiet, so Ava did not bother to ask it too many questions.